Hello everyone. Today we're learning about Mציעא Daf Lamed Gimel. We're going to start from Tanu Rabbanon, just before the Mishnah, about 5 lines before the Mishnah. Tanu Rabbanon Kitire. It says in the pasuk, Kitire Chamoy Sonacho Rivet Tachas Masoi Chodalto Nazov Lo Azov Tazov Gimoy. If you see, you need to help unload, even if it's on your hate. So Yochel Afinu Mirochel Kitire. If you see from miles away in the binoculars, you have to go help. Talmud loy ma kitifka the lashon if you bump into. Ikitifka yochel p'gemamesh, if you literally bump into the person, only then you mechuyev. Talmud loy ma kitira. If you see the iveria sheyesh b'pkia, what's considered seeing that's like bumping into, close enough. Shiru chachomim estimated this. Echod mishiva umechza b'mil. You take a mil and you split it into 7.5, and that's v'zehu ris. So if you see from a distance of a ris, then you mechuyev to help. Tona, it said in the Brayso, midada you might add parasite. After you help him, the fit toisvis, after you help him unload, and now he loaded again, you still have to walk with him to make sure that it doesn't collapse again. Omarabba Baruchana v'noitel for that walking with him, he gets paid for that. Even though that for the unloading he doesn't get paid, but for walking with him he gets paid. Says the Mishnah, if he finds his Aveda and his father's Aveda and he can only deal with one of them, he has to take care of his Aveda more than his father's. His and his Rebbe's Aveda, he goes first. If you found your father's Aveda and your Rebbe's Aveda, Rabbi before your father. Why? And Oilam Haba is much more great than Oilam Hazeh, so therefore Avedas Rabbi is Kodemes LaAvedas Oviv. Being Oviv Chacham, then Shel Oviv Kodemes, because his father then in such a situation also taught him Chachma. Oya Oviv Rabbi Nosim Asoy, they both had the load, and you need to help. Who should you help first? Rabbi, first take down the load from your Rebbe. Then you help your father. They're both in Aza, and you have to redeem them. Poides Rabbi, first your Rebbe, only afterwards you poide your father. If you follow the Tam Chacham, first Aviv and then Rabbi. Says the Gemara, how do we know that you come before your father and before your Rebbe when it comes to Aveda? Omar Rav Omar Rav, Omar Kroy, it says in the Pasuk, Efes kiloyeh b'che'evyon, and we learn Shilcha koydem l'chol Adam, that there's a tzivui from Hashem that you should make sure that you shouldn't come to Anius. Make sure don't become an Ani. So if you take care of other people's monies before your own monies, you'll come to the Anius. Therefore you have to take care of yourself first. Omar Rav Omar Rav, kol ha'mekayim ba'atzmei kach, soifei bo leidei kach. That means even though we said that there's a chiyuv to take care of your own money before other people's money, don't always say that. If you're going to always say that, and you're going to say, oh, I can't do chesed because I need to take care of my own work. So you never do chesed, and you never help anyone else. And at the end of the day, you're going to come, that means you will need to be chesed done with you because you're going to become poor. For sure you have to take care of yourself first, but with a shia, don't exaggerate, you also have to do chesed and take care of other people. Rabbi Shamu, when we talk about the Rav in the Mishnah, what type of Rav? Rabbi Shalim doi Chachma, someone who taught him Chachma, and that means Gemara. Not someone who taught, no Rebbe who taught you Mishnah or taught you Chumash, that's much easier to learn. A proper Rebbe who taught you how to understand the difference between A and B, etc. It means your Rabbi Muvak, someone who taught you most of your Chachma. It's enough they taught him one chat in one Mishnah, and that's already called Rabbi. Omar Rava Kigoin, I'll bring you an example. Kigoin Rav Schoira, the Asperon, the Oima Listroin. It's a Mishnah in Kalim that says Oima Listroin, and Rav Schoira explained me what it means. It means the spoon that takes off the dirt on top of the pot. So that's Rabbi Lefi Rabbi Yossi. Shmuel Koramane Alei Ahum Rabbanon. Shmuel tore his clothes like a Talmud on his Rav, to this one who Rabbanon, the Asper, who explained the Mishnah, that means that it says of the Echad Yored La'amas Hashechi, the Echad B'Tzeach Kivon. It's a very unclear Mishnah in Maseches Tomid, and this Talmid Chacham explained it to Shmuel Pshat, and Rashi exactly what he means. And when he was nifta, Shmuel tore his clothes as if he's a rabbi, even though he taught him only one thing. Amar Ola, Talmidei Chacham Shebavel, the Talmid Chachamim who live in Babel, only them they stand up in front of each other when they come into the room like you many do for your rabbi. The Korim there when they pass away. When it comes to Aveda, when it's a father and the Rebbe's Aveda, in the case with his father Aveda and the Rebbe's Aveda, Rabbi Muvak. They only makdim a rabbi to the father only if it's Rabbi Muvak. But someone who taught him one thing or something like that, they don't be makdim him to their father, they makdim the father first. Kaboy Minei Rav Chisda Rav Huna. Rav Chisda asked the Shaila to Rav Huna, who was his Rav, Talmid v'tzorach Rabbi Mai. If the Rebbe learns as well from the Talmud, and not only that he's his Rebbe, and Rav Huna, who heard the Shaila from Rav Chisda, understood from Rav Chisda, that Rav Chisda is asking, like us, are you very good, you my Rebbe, but you need me as well? He didn't like it. Omalei Chisda Chisda. Lo yitzrechinu loch, I don't need you. Atzrichasli, you need me. Ad Abraham Shonim, until 48 years, Akipete Adodi, Veloi Aili Legabe Adodi. They were upset with one each other and they never met. They never went and met each other. Yossi Rav Chisda Abraham Tanisa. Rav Chisda sat 40 days in Tanis. Mishum Dechol Ashtati Rav Huna, because he made Rav Huna upset. Rav Huna understood from him that Rav Chisda needs him. That Rav Huna needs Rav Chisda. And Yosef Rav Huna Abraham Tanisa, Rav Huna, the rabbi, also sat in Tanis 40 days. Mishum Dechashti Rav Chisda, because he was choished. Rav Chisda meant to ask him this question, this, as if Rav Chisda needs him, as if Rav Huna needs Rav Chisda. The interesting thing, they sat in Tanis, but on the other hand, 40 years, they didn't meet each other. Why, if they both were the Truba type of thing, why didn't they just make peace? Itma, we learned. Rav Yitzchak, Rav Yosef, Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Alocha Rav Yehuda. Alocha is like Rav Yehuda, that when it says that you makdim Avedas Rabbi to Avedas Oviv, it's owned by Rabbi Muvak. Rav Ada bar Abba, Rav Ada bar Rav Huna, Omar Rav Sheshes, Alocha Rav Yosi. That no, rabbis, even if he taught him one thing, he's koydem to his father. Ask the Gemara, me, Omar Rabbi Yochanan, Hachi, did Rabbi Yochanan said that rabbi means Rabbi Muvok? Omar Rabbi Yochanan is Mishnah, but not in our Mishnah, Rabbi, why does Rabbi go in front of your father? Rabbi Shalim do Chochma. And the Chochma is something, it doesn't mean Roy Chochma. So the it's a stira, do you pass in like Stam Mishnah, do you pass in it means Rabbi Muvok? So the Gemara, my Chochma Roy Chochma. So when it's in the Mishnah, Rabbi Shalim do Chochma means Shalim do Roy Chochma. And that's how he explains the Mishnah, and therefore there's no stira. People who learn Chumash, Midah veinu Midah, it's good and it's not so good. The Mishnah, it's already a better level, Midah v'noit limaleh sachar. It's good and also you get schar for it. Gemara ein lecha Midah g'dolim mizu, it's the best. But you should always run to the Mishnah more than the Gemara. It's a contradiction in this price, and the Gemara is going to straight away ask it. It doesn't make sense. That's the best. The other Omras, and the second later you say, Gemara, you should go to the Mishnah more than Gemara. So what's the best? Gemara or Mishnah? Decide. Doesn't make any sense. Omar Rabbi Yochanan says Rabbi Yochanan Teretz, Bimei Rabbi Mishnesh Mishnah Zu. This brisa was said in the times of Rebbe. Shavku kulu alma masnisim v'oso bosa gemara. So what happened was, in the days of Rebbe, there was a big siyata d'shmaya that there was lots of machloikis in before that, from Bishama and Besilel, etc. And then in Rebbe they had the time to write down all the mishnayos and to paskin a law of halachos, etc. And the Rebbe said it's much better to learn Gemara than means to understand the time of each thing, not just to understand the Mishnah. It's just like you read the Mishnah, you don't really understand the depth, what's the Makor, why did he say yes and he said no. So Rebbe said it's better to learn Gemara. And then when he saw that everyone's learning on Gemara, and then they're forgetting the Mishnayos, or the Dorashlu, who darshan to them, run after the Mishnah more than the Gemara, because you need to know the basic, the source, the basic, and only afterwards you can learn Gemara. That's why in the same brisa we have two things that contradict themselves. Each time has its time. Sometimes it's better to learn Gemara, sometimes it's better to learn Mishnah. My Dorish, what did he darshan at the beginning to say that you should learn more Gemara than Mishnah? Said the Gemara, the Dorish Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Eloi. My dichsiv, what's pshat in the pasuk? Aged la'ami pishon, tell my nation the pishon, the bad thing that they're doing. The Beis Yaakov chatosom less, chet is less than a pesha. Aged la'ami pishon means elu talmidei chachomim sheshkogois. If you had a mistake, it's as if they did it dafka. And the reason is because they should have looked deeper into the shaila, because they tamid the chachomim. And that's where you could see they need to learn Gemara to look deep into things. Even if there's something they did intentionally, it's as if they did it by mistake. And that's what we learned in the Mishnah. Be careful when you learn Gemara. When you do a mistake in Talmud, because you don't look to the depth of it, it's as if you did it intentionally. What's pshat in the pasuk? Shimu dvar Hashem acharedim el dvorai. Who is charedim el dvorai? Ele tamidei chachomim. Imru acheichem elu ba'alei mikra, the ones who learn the Torah. So Neichem, Elu Bale Mishnah, and Rashi explains why they're called Soinim, because of the fight between Bale Gemara and Bale Mishnah. Menadechem, Elu Ameoret. That's Ameoret, that they look at their Chachomim and they don't like them. Shema Toima Posak Zvorim Botos Sikuyom, you might think that they're going to get destroyed. Talmud Loimar, Venira, in the Posak it says, Venira Besimchaschem, we'll see in your happiness. Shema Toima, you might say, Yisrael Yivoishu, that the Jews are going to go down. The idol workers Yivoishu Yisrael, but the Jews Ismechu, and we finish Eile Metzias with a nice thing that the Jews are going to be happy, and we should be zoicha also in our days that the simcha should come to the Jewish people. Hadron Aloch Eile Metzias will Be'ezas Hashem Bli Neder will come back to Eile Metzias and will learn you again. Says the new parak Amafkid. Amafkid it's a chaveroi. Behema oikelim. Reuven gave Shimon to keep for him animal or some kelim. And now they got stolen from Shimon, or they got lost. Now Shimon paid Reuven for the item, and he didn't make a shvur. Why? Because he could have made a shvur. Sharei Omru, we said, someone who gets something to keep after without getting paid for it. Nishba b'yoytze, he could pattern himself on Meva Aveda. Now, Nimtza Ganev, we found Levi who stole it from Shimon. Mishalim Tashlumi Kefag, he has to pay double like a Ganev. Tobachumocha, if it was a sale or sure and he slaughtered it or sold it, Mishalim Tashlumi Abba Chamish, he has to pay 4 and 5 times the amount he stole. Lemi Mishalim, who does he have to pay to? Lemisha Pikodem Etzloi, to Shimon. Because Shimon type of bought this item off Reuven by him paying, because he could have made the shvur and patterned himself, and Shimon went and paid. So now the item, the cow or the kelis belongs to Shimon. So now when we catch Levi, he has to pay Shimon the kefel or the dalet v'hei. What happened if Nishba v'lo rotze l'shalem? If Shimon, when he got stolen or lost, made the shvur that he wasn't poshea and he didn't pay? Nimtza Ganev, now we found Levi who stole it. Misham tashlumi kefel, he pays double. Tobachu mochar, he slaughtered or sold it. Misham tashlumi avar chamish, he has to pay 4 and 5 times the amount. Who does he have to pay to? To to Reuven, who belongs to him, and not to Shimon, because Shimon never paid Reuven. He only made a shvuah. Now in the Mishnah we said two things. Reuven gave Shimon all kelim, all animals. It says the Gemara, Loma li lemisne behema veloma li lemisne kelim. Why did the Mishnah have to tell you also kelim and also behema? The Church say all kelim or behema. What do we need to know? Well, he needs to tell you all the items. Says the Gemara, tzruch, you need both. The itona behema, if we would only say behema, hava mina behema de makne lekfela. In a case where Shimon pays, Reuven's masking to be makne the kefil from Levi to Shimon, like we're going to see later, they've makne to him. Why? Mishum de nofish turcha, because Shimon does a lot of work of it. Liyula, ulafuka, to take it in and out. And therefore, if Shimon's willing to pay when it gets stolen, he's makne him the kefil. Avol kelim, if he gave him a watch, let's say, all he did was he kept it in his cupboard. Maybe even if Shimon pays Reuven when it gets stolen, he's not makne kefel. That's why you need to say kelim. If you'll only say kelim and not behema, the reason why Reuven's masking to be makne Shimon the kefel if Shimon pays, because the maximum Shimon can gain is to get double. Avol behema, that is a tzad to get paid 4 or 5 times the value of the item. Maybe Reuven's no makne this extra 4 and 5 times that should go to Shimon. That's why the Mishnah tells you that also by kelim and also by behema, if Shimon pays, Reuven is makne the kefel. Thank you very much. Everyone should have a very blessed week.